Right, we've taken a day out with the Stig and we have come to Woodstock car sales here just on the outskirts of Oxford. What was this video? We are going to look at some different sorts of Defenders. Now, Defenders, with any car, people want different things out of different cars, and one cool thing the Defender, the old Defender, the classic Defender had was it was different things to different people. And we've assembled a collection of cars here where they've got different Defenders that might appeal to different people. So which one would you buy? So right, let's have a go. Let's start with the Stig. So this is our own Project Defender. We have built this to be an off-road, camping, weekend trip vehicle. So we have got, we'll open up the engine in a minute and we'll have a look, and we've got it covered in mud. We've done off-roading and we've got off-roading videos and stuff. Now, one thing I should mention is we are going to start a new channel. So we are going to separate our tutorial videos from our more like vloggy, car review, other videos, so that we've got the techie stuff. And so if you like more of these reviews, subscribe to our new channel and we will be doing detailed reviews on all these cars. And I'll put the link, where am I putting the link, George?
In the corner up there.
Up there, right. And that's just going to be called Simon Jefferson, which is me. So right, very good. Okay, so we're back on. So we've got this one here and we've got the winch on here. We have got a massive winch, so if we get stuck, we've got the big winch. We have only got the 300 brake horsepower 2-litre petrol engine. We don't need to go racing around anywhere, do we, George? George is going, yeah, we do.
And that is the worst engine you can get for this car.
Not worse, George. It's because they've got the slower diesels.
Oh, okay.
We went for it because of emissions, and diesel particulate emissions are quite a thing at the moment. So we believe that this was the better anti-pollution going for this. So we went for the smallest petrol engine, but that's still 300 brake horsepower, 2-litre engine, turbocharged, 4 cylinders. Right, so we have got the base model. This is a Model S. This was £50,000 on the road. This is the cheapest Defender we could buy. I was so tight and so mean, I wouldn't even pay for metallic paint. Now, originally, I was going to get it wrapped. I was going to get it wrapped in a heritage green. But we love the white, don't we, George? We are loved up. George, he's my son. He's on the camera today helping me. We have got steel wheels on this one. Now, there has been a lot of debate on the internet recently, hasn't there, George, about wheels. Now, big wheels, and we are going to see some big wheels. So those of you who are fans of big wheels, keep watching. Small wheels mean you get a smaller wheel and a bigger tyre. If you've got a bigger tyre, you can go around and do more gnarly stuff, and you've got more sort of reason to not get stuck on rock climbs, for example. Don't know why you'd pick a rock climb as an example, eh, George? Right, anyway, we have drilled the bonnet, we've got GoPro mounts on this. We have got the Land Rover roof rack. This is the Expedition roof rack. It's good, it's solid, it's been brilliant. We've got the roof rails, we have got the ARB roof tent, and we've done all the videos of fitting all that stuff on there. We have got these molly plates that go on the side. We've got vehicle graphics. We have got the extended wheel arches that come in much further. The normal arches only come out here, so we have gone for the off-road look. We're working on a foot plate. We've got a new foot plate, spare wheel cover. We've got work lights on here that you can switch on and off here, so when we're camping we can do all this stuff. I will do a video on the electrical install that we've done here and why we've done it. We got tow hooks so we can pull people out when they got stuck. We did a video recovering the love bus, didn't we, George? We have updated the lights. We have got the smoke lights. We've upgraded our reversing lights. So we've got the big classic mud flaps with the Land Rover logo. So we have got the, what do they call this? The gearbox on the side, haven't we? Lunchbox, we call it, where you can throw your stuff. Or some people could use it as a minibar, couldn't they, George? Who knows? Right, so we've got that. We've got all that stuff. And we have got the basic interior. So this is how us poor people have to live. But I actually quite like these things. They got this sort of Hessian rough look, and they're wearing quite well. We had some initial problems with the water staining, but the dealers fixed all that. We have got like tablet mounts, because when we go off-roading, we take the tablet. But it's fairly basic in here. We've got the white headlining. We've got a mirror that's just a mirror. Look, you can see yourself in it. You see George in it, perhaps. Right. And as you'll see, we'll go over to the more deluxe ones, and they've got screens for mirrors and all sorts of tricky. We have got the standard Land Rover side steps. They are pretty good. We like that. So we haven't got electric seat trickery. We've got tilt but the main to move the seats forward and back, we're on sliders. So there we go. So, and if we open here, George, what have we got? No fridge, just some spare masks and our cunning little key holder. So this is how we use our Land Rover Defender. If you want to go for weekends away and stuff, this is perhaps the Defender for you. £50,000 plus all the bits we've bolted on. Right then, George, let's go and have a look. What are they? We have basic headlights. We don't have the glow here. So on the deluxe ones, they've got super trick headlights. Right, next on our parade, George, this is the Land Rover Defender 90. So this is the short wheelbase. This is the 2-door one. And this is quite a special one. Now, we know it's special pretty quickly because of these brakes. So these have got big, I think they're going to say 6-pot calipers on here, but these are big Brembo style calipers, much bigger than the brakes on my car. And we've got much bigger wheels. As I'm talking, I'm looking around here, George, to see if we can see how big these monsters are. Here we go. We got 175, 45, 22. So these have got massive 22-inch rims. So bear in mind, the Stig, he's on 18-inch rims. So these are massive wheels, and these are Urban's wheels. Really nice looking, aggressive, street-styled wheel, hence the name Urban. Right, and inside here we have got a V8 engine. So the first Range Rovers that were made in the 1970s came with a V8 engine, which was derived from Buick. And it was, I've got to remember my figures here, 3.5 litres, George is nodding, I'm doing well, and it was 130 brake horsepower, 3.5 litres. This is a whopping 525 brake horsepower from a 5-litre V8 petrol supercharged engine. Now, that is awesome. And one thing we'll do is we'll see if we can grab the keys and we'll have a look at what miles per gallon it's doing, and we'll be surprised. We've just come up in our car and we read that, George. What was that reading? Its average miles per gallon? 19. No, 19. Not great. We'll have a look, watch towards the end of the video. What do the V8s, what are they recording as their average miles per gallon? Right, so we've got the V8. This has got a matte wrap on it, which makes it look satin. We have got Urban side steps. Now, all the V8 Defenders came with this little V8 badge in here. Ooh. Right, let's have a quick peep inside before we go and have a look at the engine. So we are in the 90. Now look, this is what I was looking for. So this is another example of, obviously there's a blue film on here that when you own the car you will remove. But these should be illuminated. They are, you can't see them in the day. So this is, and look at this. We have got a, whoa.
That is nice.
No, so we have got the suede leather, and this is what we are really loving here. We have got the paddle shifts. Now, even though we don't go racing, we're not a Formula One team, we did miss it off-road, didn't we, George?
Definitely.
When you're off-road, the ability to be able to select the gears would actually be really useful. So it's a mod or a retrofit we'd be looking at doing.
This seat material as well.
Yeah, so this suede is not, no animal was hurt in the making of this suede. This is a vegan suede material. It's a synthetic material, and they've got it also. You've got the black headlining, and also if you look, George, you'll notice the rear view mirror is a screen. Okay, so that's super cool, and that actually gives you better rear visibility because you haven't got to look through the wheel. The wheel on the Defender covers over part of your rear window, and if you've got a rear load in the back, it's actually one of the features I wish I had on ours, because when we load it up fully we can't see out the back. So there we go, the screen's cool. We have got the deluxe foot pedals there, George. So these are part of the V8 edition. We've got the paddle shifts, we've got the leather, and hopefully if we open up there we go, there's a fridge in there so you can stay cool as you're racing around in your V8. We've got, right, let's have a look what other exciting features we have got. Right, let's pop the, everyone's going, we're not worried about, we want to look inside at the engine. So let's take a look what a V8 looks like. There we go. Whoa, right. So basically you have got a V8 engine supercharged here, and you've got twin air intakes. So you've got one on each side. Now this is quite interesting because I went to build one of these. You can't specify the raised air intake. So on our Stig, we have got the snorkel. Well, it's not a snorkel, it's a raised air intake, you can see. But you cannot specify a raised air intake on the V8 models. And I'm guessing, it's because you would have to, so the air intake actually, it comes through here and it comes in through this side vent. So you can actually wade up to this depth, which is 900 millimeters. And that's the same for all these cars. So when you go wade in, we've done that, haven't we, George? You can raise the suspension and you can go, we had it over 900, but that's a contentious point, isn't it, George? Right, but obviously, and you don't need a snorkel to go 900, but if you want to get the cleaner air, now, why have Land Rover not allowed you to do that? Because I guess it would be weird if you had clean air coming in this end, but on this air intake for the other bank, you hadn't. So it seems that Land Rover haven't made, it would be really cool, wouldn't it, to have a snorkel. No, we can't call it snorkel, a double raised air intake.
That would look
really cool. And that would sometimes
give it like horns.
Symmetry. Right, that's a cool idea. Maybe someone will do that, who knows. Right, so this is it. Now remember this, we have to think about this. So a V8 petrol 5-litre engine, is that gonna be the end of a line? Oh, we got some keys, guys. They must have been airing me. Right, so we'll have a look what it sounds like. Everyone wants to know that. Right, so we have got 2 air intakes with V8 engine. So we talked about the V8 engine came into Range Rover in the 1970s, and they're also fitted to Land Rovers. That must have been kind of scary, George. The handling and the suspension. This is gonna be, I know I was gonna ask, but this is gonna be the last V8 petrol engine fitted. This is the end of a line. As we look at the environmental challenges that we've got, and we need to talk about these things, air pollution, the effect it has on people, and what we're going to do as a planet, we need to think about. And so this is the end of a line. We are going to have to find alternative sources. Now, is that electric or hydrogen? We don't know, but we know we are going to have to challenge. And the UK government has banned the sale of new petrol cars from 2030. So this is the end of the line. And maybe if you buy one of these, you are buying a piece of history. Now, we got a couple of things to talk about. Going through my head. Right, we talked about handling there. So these cars have these little wires here, I believe these cars with the V8 engines have continually variable shock absorbers, continual variable damping. So they can assess the road conditions and firm up or relax the shock absorbers in all 4 corners and give you a more dynamic response. They've also got some really weird trickery, so that as you're cornering, it can adjust the torque going to various wheels to stabilize the car, torque vector by braking. And they've got also on the V8 cars, you have got stiffened suspension. So the anti-roll bar at the front is stiffer. We probably can't see it under there, but that means it's going to be better on road. You're going to be able to corner with less body roll, which is going to be cool. But George is ready. When you go off-road with a stiffer, the Americans call it sway bar, we call it anti-roll bar, and what it does is it makes sure your wheels sort of follow each other. It means you can't get the different axle articulation that you need. So the V8 will be slightly inferior off-road to the Stig.
But that isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I think, let's face it, everyone driving this car, I don't think they're going to be taking it off-road.
No.
And I think that is for both these V8s. First of all, they're too expensive, and also I feel like obviously we have the cheaper version. That's still expensive, but we can just about take that off-road financially, like sensibly.
Right, so we have got that off-road. So Stig, you're still loved, you're still better off-road. Fundamentally, the wishbones and most of the suspension setup is the same between these 2 cars. Now, this has got 525 horsepower and it can cope with it. And I think Land Rover designed from the start the stiffness of the body and some of the suspension components and transmission components to take the enormous torque and power from that engine. And I think I've benefited from that, because I think they've over-engineered some components on that car. So I'm really pleased that essentially very much the same car can take the awesome 525 brake horsepower. Right, there we go. So we have had a look. Have we had a good look at the engine there, George? Everyone's happy.
But this is the 90 version. We do have...
Right, speed. Oh, we're going to start up, aren't we? Speed. 4.9 seconds. This car will get you from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.9 seconds. Now, if you've got the 110, the 4-door version with the V8, which we'll look at in a minute, that is, you have got a slightly fatter back end. Can I say that? Yeah, right. And it will take you a little longer. It will take you about 5.1 seconds to get from 0 to 60. Now, there is actually another option. There is the P400, the petrol 400 brake horsepower PHEV, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Now, that actually, interestingly, will get you from 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds. So it's not, there are other alternatives in the range here that come close to this, but this is the quickest. I'm going to say this is the quickest Land Rover Defender ever made. This one here, the 95 litre V8, and I suspect this will probably be, mind you, if they go electric, you can do some weird things, can't it? This is the quickest fossil fuel burning Defender that will ever be made.
The loudest.
The loudest. Should we have a look? Should we go and start it up? Yeah.
I've got the keys.
Got the keys, right. Which one is it, George? Now, this has also got the upgraded headlights. So people will say, well, this car, right, let's talk about dollars, George. This car here is about £98,000 starting price. Right? That'll buy you 2 of those. That'll buy you one of those, a pickup truck, and an MX-5, right?
And probably another pickup truck.
So this is £98,000. Now, can you buy? This has been such a success, coupled with Land Rover have some supply problems on ICs at the moment. So you cannot go to the dealer, walk in with your cash and go, governor, I want 98 grand Bosch, I want a 90. Ain't going to happen. You are going to have to wait for one of these, or you're going to have to pay a premium. Now, luckily, there are people here, like Woodstock Car Sales, who have kindly gone out and found and purchased some of these cars for you. So if you want one now, you can ring these guys up. We'll put the link in the description, and you can buy and own one of these cars. Now, the wait list, I rang up our local dealer, Grange, Swindon, our friends there, and he said, Tom said, Simon, you're going to be looking at least 12, probably 18 months for a V8, one of these. So that is the deal. So, and there's even, if you put your name on the waiting list now, would you ever get one? There's even doubts as to whether the production will be able to keep up with demand / supply of components / legislation. So who knows? Right.
Let's go start up.
Start up. You got the keys?
Yeah. Wait, I've got 2.
You got 2. Which ones? Go. Oh, headlights. Right. You work out
3.
which key it is while I look at the headlights. So these headlights here, these are the LED matrix headlights, and these are super cool. There's videos on LED. But basically, you have your main beam on all the time. When someone's coming towards you, these headlights just take out the bit that's being antisocial. So these headlights, I mean, these are like £1,500 each,
wow,
even on the parts catalogue. So you can see that the £98,000 price tag, you're not just getting 4 extra cylinders tipped over on the side. You are actually getting a really high spec. You have got the high spec sound system, you have got the mirrors, you have got the upgraded suspension, you have got the upgraded brakes, you have got you've got an upgraded gearbox in here, 8-speed automatic, and you've got 4 exhaust tailpipes. Right, give me the keys, George.
Also, I just do have to give another shout out to this paintwork, because although you said it's like a PPF that gives it this satin finish, this kind of Carpathian vibe, people are wrapping theirs in this satin black.
Now the Carpathian does have a satin wrap, it does have, and I think you can see it at the side, George. Can you see the difference there? You can see it's glossier, and it's actually the wrap, and you can see there's a transition there between gloss. We might be able to see it better on the door shuts. Keys.
Sorry.
Keys.
I think that's it.
Right, that was actually the car dribbling, George has pointed out, but I was just checking it wasn't me dribbling because I was getting a bit excited. That is just awesome. Now, here's an interesting thing. I've been reading the Defender car manuals, and they do have something. I was reading all about the sound system because I'm looking at upgrading the sound system on the stick. And I didn't know this, but there is actually fitted to a lot of the Defenders a thing called something like, and I'll put it on the screen now, it's something like enhanced sound system. I don't know if you know this, George, but it actually plays, the sound system is linked to the rev counter or the CAN bus, and it looks at the revs and it plays some enhanced engine noises into the cabin to give you a more immersive driving experience. Now, have they done that on the V8? Maybe there's a Land Rover engineer out there that knows. Maybe you could just comment. Does it have this enhanced sound system?
It does sound pretty good from the outside anyway.
So, because obviously as they improve cars, the sound deadening and all that stuff is improved. But you do lose some connection to the car by living in a cosseted environment. So maybe they've addressed that and you're actually filtering out all the noise but just injecting some back in. Right, let's have a look. So we have got these awesome wheels. Now, this is the Defender 90, so we do need to, the rear door is the same, and you can see what I was talking about the reduced rear visibility with the wheel there. You can see it obscures some of your view. So the 90 is much smaller in the boot. We wouldn't get much camping gear in there, would we, George?
No. Do you reckon I could fit in there?
Don't know.
Probably just about fit me in.
This is a new car, we don't want to get it dirty.
Yeah.
Easy. But look, we've got some nice details, we've got some nice chrome fittings, and we've got the sunroof, and I think we've got the full speaker system, so we've got additional speakers in the back. Now, actually what we noticed when we did a review at the dealer of the 90, the first one, is how nice they are in the back. Okay, you've got a clamber over the seats, but once you're in the back, the way the rear quarter lights, and we'll try and lean over. Can you lean over there, George, or we'll get inside? And the way the rear Safari, what are they called? Safari? Alpine lights. This here lets light in for its entire length. When you look at the 110 four-door models, it's blocked with a body stiffening panel in the middle. But actually, in the back of these 90s, it's actually a really pleasant place to be.
Super clean look, and it's so nice.
We don't have any notice board on here, do we? But you can optionally have the notice board installed if you want that panel on the side. We have got the smoke lights on here. We've got everything. This is a different interesting detail, George. I haven't seen this on ours. It's got an extra panel here. We've got the tow hooks. Imagine what you could tow with 525 horsepower. You could pull a train with one of these. This is, right, there we go. So that is a quick look at the interior. Now, one other styling feature that Urban have added, that has got soft, I didn't need to, we have got soft close on that. There you go, look at that. Sorry, I'm being all agricultural. Notice they've added this rear spoiler there just to give you that.
Looks mean.
That is, it's just subtle, isn't it?
Urban branding on the side there. Beautiful.
Very subtle again. So there we go. So that's our wrap up pretty much of the Urban one.
And Urban have done a great job, I think, with this car for getting it to its perfect demographic, because they've put the bigger wheels on, meaning it's less suitable for off-road. They've put the sleek spoiler on, and it shows really the demographic that are buying this car. It's not going to be used off-road. It's going to be going around London and looking flash.
Look at that. Other cities are available, George. It's not just all about the big smoke.
Well, that leads you on to the point. Where's this car going to go? What market is this designed
Are
for?
you going to buy this one or this one? Where are you at? Or do you want to see one of these others? And we'll go on and we'll try and keep it a bit more brief as we go, because some of the stuff will be repeated. One thing on the Carpathian edition, this is a Carpathian edition. It's got this grey Carpathian paint that we talked about with the protective film. You've got the smoke lights. They've done the gloss black rear door. Now, if you look on the other models, if you look over to the stick there, you'll see the rear door is the same as the body colour. Now, I've got all the checker plate accessories on here, but if you look at this one, you'll notice they've done the black. Now, that's kind of neat because all Defenders have this gloss black light surround panel, but now you've got the gloss black door, and I think it works, don't you?
I really like it, and also because the bonnet is also gloss black.
Black, yeah. So we've got black, we've got a black. Maybe we put if you were a bird flying over, it would look brilliant. You've got the black roof, you've got the black bonnet. So you've got that, the black A-pillars, the black mirrors. Definitely something going on. Right, let's move on.
So
right,
now
this is the most expensive Land Rover Defender you can currently buy. This is the grey Carpathian V8 Land Rover Defender 110. So again, we have got the V8 engine, we've got 525. It is fractionally slower than the smaller, slimmer. This has got a little bit more weight to carry around. We have got the tow hooks, we have got all the features. So if you come up behind these, so how are we going to know when we come up behind one of these, George, that it is a V8?
So first thing, Exhaust tip.
Exhaust tips, we have got 4. Oh, there's no other Defender with the twin quad exhaust. There you go. Other than that, I don't think there's a lot. You could get worried by the smoke lights, might be a bit of a giveaway. The other things you're looking for then is the calipers. You're looking for the, now these are black calipers on the back, interestingly. Have we got black on the, have we got non-matching calipers on this one?
Perhaps.
Maybe is that the same on the 90, George? That's the same on the 90.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be someone out there offering blue rear calipers, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh dear, look, we've got someone, right. Okay, so we have got the black bonnet, we have got everything, we have got the we've got the upgraded headlights. When I sat in that one earlier, George, to start it, I had electric steering column, which we don't have on ours. So you've got a lot more built in. One thing we need to look at, George, have any of these cars got the bigger screen? So the central Pivi infotainment screen is 10 inches on mine, and they've apparently extended it to 11.4. Should we have a look? You go around the other side, George, let's have a peep in. Yes, indeedy, sir. That is the biggest screen. So here you go. You can see here we have got the bigger screen.
And I reckon, for reference, just so people can understand, it's about the size of an iPad, would you say?
It is getting on for the size of an iPad. We will get the tape measure out and we'll put the pictures of us. Now, Land Rover claim it is 60% more screen area. And because we like a bit of maths, and George is on his summer holidays and got a brush up on his math, we are going to do a little spreadsheet and we will calculate. Is it really right? Is it 60% extra? Right, let's have a look at the seats. So we have got these lovely seats inside again. We've got the big screen. Now, even when you're spending £107,000, this screen is an optional extra, I'm afraid. But it's not significantly more. I think it's priced at like an extra £150.
I've just noticed something.
Tell me, George.
And I don't know if the microphone can hear me, but this charging thing up here in this model is USB-C. And in our basic one, that's a normal USB.
Now that might be a 2022, so bear in mind, George, the world has not stood still for the last year and a half. We got our car 18 months ago now, so maybe they have upgraded now to USB-C.
There's going to be a few small changes like that, and that may be due to Apple now all their charging cables being USB-C. And
maybe we will do a video on our Powerful UK channel, this channel, on how to upgrade that. So maybe if you've got USB-C, I'm sure we can look in the parts catalogue and it probably is a straight swap. We have got little chrome bezels around here. We've got black, we have got the rear screen, we have got
the ultimate thing you need in any
fridge.
Defender.
Oh, we have got the wireless charger. So these Carpathians come with the wireless charger, so you don't need to add that additionally. So look at that. We have got, and remind you, this car is available to buy. Woodstock Car Sales. You can own this one now. Have we got the V8 sill plates, George?
Yes.
And look, you've got the Meridian. Look at the badging on the doors. We've got the Meridian upgraded sound system. You have got the full. Right, George has spotted this extra button, which looks like a radar. Now, it's got a warning triangle in it. I think it's a warning system. Oh, in fact, mine's gone off now, George.
Yeah, mine's gone off as well.
Maybe got to shut and open the doors. But I think it's a warning system to warn you when there's something approaching. There may be a sensor in the door or in the rear of the car that tells you. If you look in the back here, George, you can see what I was saying about the 110 where you've got this block. It's not offensive because you're sat here, but it's really quite nice. So we have not got this in our car, George, have we?
No.
We have got the rear, we've got and we have got a full array. You're not going to run out of charge sockets, and also you've got the charging point and the docks in the seat. You've got all of this. You've got special headrests, George. If you look at these headrests, these are special to the Carpathian edition.
Let's see if there's anything special in the middle.
Oh, got a cup holder stand, yeah. Really nice seats, really soft to feel and touch.
Yeah, this leather is super high.
And you still got Isofix seat brackets. So when the children won't sleep, you put them in the V8, the noise of that V8 engine, that's going to rock those babies to sleep in no time. Right, let's keep going. We have got the electric sunroof in here. Right, let's have a look in the back. There we go. So we got the rear back. Whoa, so what's that? That is the rear table. So I think whoever has this has started to do the real table modification. So it just goes to show, we were talking about this earlier, Joe. This car, I mean, if you want absolute luxury and you're a fan of the Land Rover brand as we are, You will go out and you will buy a Range Rover. It will be quieter, it will be more luxurious than a Defender. It's more aerodynamic, you're going to have less noise, and it's designed from the ground up to be a comfortable, quiet, luxury machine, right? The Defender has got some compromises with its shape and stuff, but also it's got these rugged materials. You know, it will be fully carpeted in the back of a Range Rover. If you've got a dog and you want to go to the beach, you are not going to want to be taking your luxurious Range Rover with all your carpet and you'll have dog hair. You're going to want to throw them in the Defender. So you can drive it quickly. So the Defender, it's all about versatility. It's comfortable. We love the Defender, don't we, George? It's really the air suspension. So all these cars have all got air suspension. So you get a brilliant air suspension ride. You can raise and lower the suspension, all of these. You have still got awesome off-road capability with this car.
So, can we call this car the ultimate dog car?
You could call it the ultimate dog car. If you have got some Labradors and you want to go to the beach with some kids, this is the ultimate car.
There is not a better car, I believe, you can buy on the market to do that activity than this.
As versatile, right? So there we go. So we have got all that. We've had a go. Has everyone had a
good? What have you noticed? You've got the 240 volt plug.
That is one thing we don't have. That would be really useful.
That is an essential for any tech.
Now, one thing we have fitted to ours, and we've done a video on it, is over on this side we have fitted the compressor, and you can see where it goes here.
And actually here, there's another USB. Oh, that's
that's a standard power outlet, and you actually use that outlet to do the compressor. Now,
that's cool.
The compressor allowed us to reduce the tyre pressures when we were off-road and got stuck once, and again we've done a video on that. But that is the power outlet. So I think these are standard features on the Carpathian. I think they have fully loaded it. You've got the stereo, the electric seats, the mirrors, the rear view. There's the rear view mirror camera is bolted in the back here. Right, so this is, other than the picnic table mounted to the back door, this I believe to be a standard Carpathian edition Defender 110. Right, what do we have here? This is the last of our summary. This is a Land Rover Defender 110 Urban in the colour that I can't pronounce. It's called like Glorina Stone or something. Yeah, nice. Well done, Simon. Right, so this, you'll notice we have got the body coloured rear door. We have got the Urban spare wheel cover. Now, notice this. I think this is a Model X, George, because the Model X is finished in this. The rear bumpers, instead of being grey, how are you going to describe that colour, George?
Wow, I mean that is.
It's not bronzy,
it's
it's
on
chrome,
to be chrome,
but it's kind of subtler than chrome, isn't it? And it actually goes beautifully with this.
It does.
This I can see working together. One thing is to be careful. On the Land Rover Defender, we often, as you know, we've got the roof tent and we need to put things on the roof. One thing I will say, and I've got to have a couple of niggles, haven't I? It's my style. Someone says, Simon, you're a bit picky sometimes. I understand what you're saying. Right then. This rear step slopes down, and there was someone, and he'd gone to get in and got something, and he'd slipped off. And they do a tread plate that covers on here, but I wouldn't even recommend necessarily putting the tread plate on. It does make it better, but if you've just stuck it on and the adhesive hasn't stuck, and I don't know how well it will stick to this very shiny chrome metal. So one thing that would have been a bit nicer would have been a flatter rear bumper rather than the sloping away, but that's just the smallest of niggles, and that's the same across all the models. So you will notice here, this is the P400, so this has got the 3 litre 400 brake horsepower 6-cylinder inline engine. Right, and what have we got here? We have only got these small exhausts here. Now, I know why Land Rover have done it. When you're going off-road, one thing you're looking at is your descent angle, and this is, as you come off a mountain, is this angle here. So they've chamfered the exhaust so that you don't get caught as you're coming down off a slope onto the level. So there you go. But you'll notice we have only got 2 exits. We haven't got quad tailpipes on these. Now, this is the Model X, so this came also with the smoked lights. So they had a slightly different bumper on the Model X.
I'm a big fan of these wheels again. They're not the off-roading ones, and again, looking at the price tag of this car, although it's fairly similar to ours.
Yes. Well, it's the Model X, so it is the top of This is the top of the range.
Definitely not one I would
trim
take
level.
off-road.
No. And look, the wheel, exactly on that point, George, this wheel arch here on mine, if we look at it, is a textured plastic. Much like the one on this Discovery 5 here. You can see it's got this it's not painted. The Model X, one of its accessories was the gloss black. And almost, George, you get a bit of a clash because you go from gloss black onto the wheel, the mud flap, wear fitted. This is an accessory, an optional extra, but that's matte. So we have got the light panel, we have got this, we have got some urban style side steps on here.
And actually we have the Defender X badging here.
Ah, yes.
And that does look pretty badass.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Right, so we've got the side step. In fact, one thing I've just noticed about this is the Urban guys, these side steps are actually rubbery rather than plastic, which I think is really good. I think that gives a better, and if you look on our original ones, they're that grey silvery plastic that we don't like so much. So actually I'm gonna congratulate Urban on going for a practical. It's gonna be less slippy, it's gonna be more, it'll have more, what's the word? Durability. So this is inside. So we have got the accessory foot pedals added. We have got the black, and we've got the wood trim. So this only comes on the Model X.
Very controversial, this wood trim.
Why? Why so?
Some people say wood should stay on trees and not in the interior of a car.
Oh,
I've heard that debate online before. Some people do not like
but
the wood interior.
Maybe, George, they are carbon neutral parts of the car. Maybe the carbon that was absorbed by the tree growing does that work?
What do you think? Comment below. Should wood trim be in cars?
I think you might be starting a debate there. Right then. Right, you've got the black. You'll notice that on the lower spec models, you don't have this. This is in a lighter silver, and these dash ends are in a lighter silver. But there we go. We've got the screen.
Which is a smaller screen.
So these sill plates have got the standard illuminated. So on mine, I do not have any illuminated sill steps at all. But obviously the V8 ones. Maybe I should make some, George, with straight 4 for mine. Maybe not. Right. Okay, we will go round. We will check we haven't missed anything. So, there is one thing. Right. This is an interesting point, George. So look at my car at the end, the mighty Stig. He has got a roof tent upon him. Now, little did you know. So we already learned that you cannot fit a raised air intake onto the Land Rover Defender with a V8 engine. Presumably you can, but you need to buy another, but no one has yet produced the mirror one for the other side. You also cannot fit a roof rack or roof bars on the roof. So, top speed. So the top speed of this car is 119. So this is the P400. Is 119 miles an hour, according to the spec sheet that I will put up on the screen now. But apparently you can, if you put 22-inch wheels on, which this one probably got, it will mysteriously go to 130 miles an hour. So putting the bigger wheels on, now I don't quite understand that. It's probably to do with gearing, obviously, as you get a bigger wheel, but then sometimes the tires are lower. But according to the manual, it's 130. Now, we've already looked at the acceleration. If this is the mild hybrid. If we had the plug-in hybrid electric, this would go from 0 to 60 in 5.4. This one will do 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. Now, you would think that if the roof loading was based on acceleration, there would be no difference between 5.4 and 5.2. So you cannot fit. Now, it may be the top speed. So the top speed of this bad boy, and it's the same on the 90, because once you go in, that extra weight doesn't make a lot of difference, 149 miles an hour, which is over twice the UK speed limit. So I'm not quite sure why you would need to do 149 miles an hour. But maybe the top speed, the wind drag, or the loading is such that it is not possible to put anything. Now, let's have a look. Have they left? But they do have the mountings on the top for the roof rack. I suspect it's more, my suspicion is the fact that I don't think Land Rover have homologated or tested it to a roof load. I suspect there's not a problem, but don't go buying a V8 Defender if you want to put things on the roof. You cannot go down to Wickes and put your wood on the roof with a V8 Defender. Right, we are going to check our notes. We are going to go back around and we are going to do some more shots and have a look. Right, just to reset the balance with all this super fast road. There you go. So there's some mud for you. You can't do a Land Rover video without seeing some proper mud. Now, on the subject of mud and off-roading and things, why is the Carpathian edition called the Carpathian edition? And this is quite cool. I like this. So, I'll put a picture on the screen. In Europe, in Eastern Europe, there is a range of mountains that are in a little crescent arc shape, and they start down in Romania and they go up through the Ukraine and they come round into Slovakia. In the foothills of the Slovakian Carpathian Mountains, there is a town called Nitra, spelled N-I-T-R-A, which is actually where these Land Rover Defenders are made. So I like that Land Rover have recognised that the cars are being assembled in Slovakia at the end in the foothills of the Carpathian Mountains, and they've called it a Carpathian edition.